Know the investor. So here are some things you probably wouldn't do. Walk into a grocery store asking to buy running shoes. It sounds crazy here, but it's not that different from pitching an investor who focuses solely on enterprise software companies when you're building the next Birchbox. That is monthly beauty and grooming subscription boxes. And believe it or not, people sometimes think that an investor is just an investor, but they do specialize. If you are a Birchbox and consumer community products are your business, you probably will want to find an investor who has experience and passion for consumer products and brands. My point is that every firm and investor is different, and we tend to invest in different areas. We call this our thesis. Investors also invest at different stages. There are always exceptions to this rule, but the majority of firms and investors focus on one stage, and they have created a formula around that stage to be successful. An investor at any stage will generally set aside a part of that fund to do any follow-on rounds with companies they invest in. My point, do your research. You'll save your time and investor time, investors' time. Here are a few tools you can use to make and research your investor list. AngelList. AngelList is a great starting place. You can search and follow investors and view all previous investments. You can also find additional information about those previous investments from that company's listing. TechCrunch. A great TechCrunch search can show what companies an investor has been involved with, and may show some thought leader information as well. Crunchbase. Crunchbase is a great database for investors, investments, and companies. It's also helpful that it shows other investors that may have invested alongside the one you are researching. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an obvious one. Beyond learning more of the investor's background, you may uncover a mutual connection that can connect you. Mattermark. Mattermark is a startup itself, but it's proven valuable for both investors and startups. Although membership is costly, you can easily sign up for a 1-month trial, as it has in-depth information both at the firm or investor level. Beyond knowing if an investor makes investment in your market, this research pays off when you meet an investor too. Walking in with a little knowledge about what companies an investor has backed, what prior companies the investor may have worked for, and other boards they sit on will give you an advantage. Obviously, you are speaking with investors to raise capital to build your company, but the value of an investor reaches beyond just the investment. You want to find investors that are a good fit. So what does that mean? You will want to find investors that understand your industry, has contacts in that industry. Think partnerships, customers, mentors. Passionate about the problem you are trying to solve. Reflects your beliefs on how you run a company, and the right amount of involvement that fits with your company. So at this point, you may be thinking as long as you get funding for your company, you're happy, and everything else is secondary. I completely understand the fundraising process can be daunting. So just remember, if you are building a great company and you are adding value to that company, you can be selective with your investors.